under the umbrella of His Excellency the President. We work very hard for that, and we promise to work hard to, inshallah, in soon future, that the Gambian health is not compromised, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Cognizant of the fact that the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital is the country's main referral center, officials are therefore pleading for more assistance in making the hospital one of a kind in the region. Aissatou Badiane Sarr, Grts.
In another development, Sukuta Health Center and Lower Basic School Wednesday received medicaments and learning materials from a Belgian charity. The donated items were received on behalf of the beneficiaries by the Village Development Committee.
College Sporting Skill, a Belgian-based non-profitable organization, handed over to Sukuta in Combo Knot an assortment of medical items for the town's health center. The lower basic school also benefited from the donation. Since January 2008, the organization has been contributing towards the health service delivery and improving education in Sukuta. The latest development came after the successful renovation of malaria laboratory in the health center and 3 classrooms in Sukuta Lower Basic School.
Also, since last year, in collaboration with other organizations and with some public schools of the city of Antwerp, my hometown, we distribute 300 packages with school materials intended for the pupils of the 3rd degree.
We are very glad to be here, and we hope that the things that we will do here, and we do here every time, that it is of continuing use, and that the things that we implement, like in the school and all that, that is of better use of the children, and that they will grow up with all the knowledge that they need to know later on to bring Gambia to a higher level.
Rohi Jame, a senior nurse at the health center, acknowledged the immense support the philanthropists are rendering to the health center, noting that it would help to address key challenges the nurses are facing.
We will put it into good use, and then it is for the patient, and we will make sure that the patient have got the materials they have brought on. Thank you.
Kausu Cham, the Alcalo of Sukuta, and Fatu Cham, a member of the Village Development Committee, both described the donors as genuine partners in development and assured that the donated materials would be used judiciously. The headmaster of Sukuta Lower Basic School, Dauda C. Jeju, expressed gratitude to the donors for their benevolence. The health sector continues to be a high priority for the government of the Gambia, and interventions of this nature are always good news to both the beneficiaries and the government. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Winifred Nicole Hadibat.
Time now to take our first break. We'll be right back.
The Gambia Tourism Board proudly presents the 2nd edition of the Food and Beverage Festival in the Smiling Coast of Africa, the Gambia. Date on Saturday and Sunday, February 8th and February 9th, 2014. The 2nd edition of the Food and Beverage Festival will be happening at the Green Mamba Gardens and Jacarlo Bar and Restaurant in Senegambia. Entertainment will be provided by the King of Kora, Jaliba Kuyate, and the Kumare Band will be present.
Food and Beverage Festival at home 8 and 9 better
There will be live performances by Gambian artists, drummers, acrobats, singing competition, eating competition, wrestling competition, and many more. Prepare yourself for local and international cuisines, for they will be there in abundance. Entrance fee is only $100. Proudly sponsored by Banjul Breweries and...
Welcome back. The United Nations criticized the Vatican for failing to stamp out child abuse within the church. The call came as reports of cases of child abuse surfaced in some countries. The Vatican is accused of covering up the abuse of tens of thousands of children worldwide. Meanwhile, victims of child abuse have welcomed the UN report as timely. We have details in this CFI report.
Nations denounced the Vatican on Wednesday for failing to stamp out child abuse. It called on the church to remove all clergy suspected of raping or molesting children. The report was ordered after pedophilia scandals that have rocked the Roman Catholic Church in recent years.
The Holy See has adopted policies and practices which have led to the continuation of the abuse by and the impunity of the perpetrators. The Holy See has consistently placed the preservation of the reputation of the Church and the protection of the perpetrators above children's best interests.
The Vatican said Wednesday that it would study the damning UN report, accusing it of failing to stamp out child abuse, but slammed criticism of its religious teachings as interference. The report followed a landmark hearing last month during which a committee of independent experts grilled senior churchmen and repeatedly questioned the Vatican's resolve.
Well, the report is absolutely incredibly scathing. It's a devastating report for the Vatican because it basically says that the Vatican systematically kept the procedures in place that allow children to be abused over the course of decades.
The report said tens of thousands of children worldwide had been abused systematically for years within the Catholic Church. Victims' associations around the world praised the report.
Esto es un respiro.
This is a respite, and beyond that, as I mentioned, it is recognition of the fact that we have always told the truth. We have not been lying, despite all the campaigns against us.
Last month, the Vatican revealed that 400 priests accused of pedophilia were forced to leave the priesthood during the pontificate of previous Pope Benedict XVI.
Burundi has celebrated the 20th anniversary of its Unity Charter amidst a boycott by the main Tutsi party, which is engaged in a power struggle with the Hutu-dominated government of President Pierre Nkurunziza. The peace charter was intended to unite the two main groups who have fought each other for control of the country. The ensuing political impasse risks plunging the country into instability as both sides harden their positions.
No member of UPRONA, the main Tutsi party, attended the ceremony. The party is engaged in a power struggle with the Hutu-dominated government. 3 UPRONA cabinet members recently resigned in reaction to the sacking of the country's vice president, a member of UPRONA.
Instead of building fraternity, we are fighting. It's really a shame. We risk following the devil instead of God.
The Charter on National Unity was adopted in a referendum in 1991. The aim was to bring Hutus and Tutsis closer together. But it did not prevent the outbreak of a bloody civil war 2 years later. People are afraid once again. The first vice president and the head of UPRONA, both Tutsis, are in hiding and fear for their lives.
Mutual understanding is a catalyst of national unity. Each time this catalyst is set aside, national unity is disrupted. In order to reassert national unity, we need to create a climate of friendliness, to communicate, debate, and discuss.
The crisis is a serious one. It risks completely undermining the Arusha Peace Accord, a fragile political compromise signed in 2000 between Burundi's Tutsis and Hutus.
We now take a second break. And before we end this edition of the news, a reminder of our headlines. The President, His Excellency, Chair Professor Alhaji Dr. Yehya Jammeh, has relieved Justice Mabel Ajimang of her appointment as Chief Justice of the Republic of the Gambia. The Minister of Health today took delivery of 24 vehicles and 60 motorbikes at a ceremony presided over by Vice President Jai Saidi. The Vatican has come under the spotlight as the United Nations released a report questioning its role in covering up child abuse cases within the church. And protesters in Niger have been venting their anger at the French uranium mining giant Areva for flouting a law that obligates the company to pay more for the uranium it exploits in the West African country. That's all in this edition of the news. Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of our program.